Now, coming to today's objective. First question I have is we will be looking at co-founding. Do we understand co-founders? So that is the topic and that is the concept we will be looking today throughout the session. And we will also look at particular concepts on what could be the promises that you could have from your co-founder and what are the expectations and how this can work actually, because that's a one of the most important understanding. A lot of startup founders are not so clear. Either they are in rush in trying to figure out something like why should I have a co-founder, or whom can be the co-founder, I am looking for my co-founder. So all these kind of confusions are there. So that's why I decided to bring this very specific episode to help a lot of founders get clarity on what is all co-founding about. And also at the end, I'll be sharing the benefits of a good co-founder or a good co-founding practice, which can create a wonderful team, which can get you the best part of the startup, which is funding. See, today, whenever we have a lot of ideas, not every idea is getting funded. One of the primary reason for not getting funded is also the team that is driving the idea. So most often, when we present the idea to the investors, more on a business proposition, there are a lot of parameters that come in the evaluation of the team as well. And one such evaluation point is purely the investors per se of looking at, can the team deliver the idea, whatever they are promising. So this is one very important aspect that can actually help startups get funding. So if the team is very good, then definitely they have high chances of getting funding. So that's why this concept is also very important to startups and to founders. Now let's get into the discussion. Are we ready? Great. So if you are if you are ready to go ahead and explore, please type ready in the chat box so that I know. I just want to make it a little bit interactive so that you don't find it a kind of monotonous. Okay, great. So I am getting a lot of responses. It's saying that yes, we are ready to go. Wonderful. Basically, co-founder O's. Before we get into the kind of co-founder O's or the promises and all, let's try to understand this kind of concept as such. I would like everyone to unmute and share about their views of what do you think is a co-founder. Anyone can start. Whom do we think is a co-founder?
Money, actually, what I feel is like usually a person can have a knowledge on particular specific things. So what we feel like once we have a co-founder, their views also will be different, and what our strengths and weaknesses. Like our strengths are our pros, and our weakness. Like our partner also having the co-founder also having the some strengths which we have as a pro, like con. So then the team co-founding will be a very go on win-win hand, and then it will be a very mutually strong team, right?
Wonderful, wonderful, Sharath. So I got a couple of good, strong words from there. One is strength, one is knowledge, one is sharing. Wow,
Yeah.
that's well explained. Thank you. Anyone else would like to go before I move on the topic? Okay, great. So typically, to understand co-founding, what we should look at is like three basic questions. Why do we need a co-founder? That's the first question we have to understand. Second, how can we find a co-founder? How is a co-founder different from what I'm trying to do as a founder, right? And then, what does a co-founder do? Let's say I found a co-founder. What does he do, basically? So this is all summed up into a snippet or a kind of a share, what I call the art of co-founding. So unless until you learn the art of co-founding, you will not be able to answer these simple questions like, why do we need a co-founder? Or how do you find a co-founder? And what does the co-founder has to do with you along with the founder? And if you look at actually, these are the three problems why most of the startups collapse in the core team level after some kind of start and they go on a flying colors, and then they have some kind of turmoil, and then they collapse because they have not answered themselves all these three questions. And let's say if I have answered all these three questions, what is that called? That is nothing but a shareholder agreement. So that's also a part of a process that most of the startups miss. So whenever we do a startup, whenever we have a co-founder, it's always better to write down a shareholder agreement with the co-founder so that these questions are clearly answered. Now this is the problem, and shareholder agreement is the solution. So that's the first part. So typically understanding this and trying to set it up in the right way is what I say the art of co-founding. And every founder has to understand, at least to some extent, the art of co-founding. Or else what happens is we might create a great product, we might create a great business idea, we might create a great market, we might create a great customers, but we will not be able to create a great core team, which is the fundamental foundation of any idea to take the next level. Because until we get founded, until the time we have an idea and we get founded, the only team that works is nothing but the co-founding team, no one else. I mean, maybe we might have some focused developers, some focused salesperson who are helping us on the functions, but as such on the idea, on the ownership, on the kind of taking the idea to a next level, what we have is only a co-founding team, and that is the only strength that any founder can have. So that's why it is very important to understand the art of co-founding. So are we ready to go ahead and learn this art of co-founding? For the simplicity, what I've done, there are actually, if you look at, there are various parameters that can define a co-founder or your business. Typically, people go with kind of local jargons that they use, like, oh, he's a like-minded guy. I know him from some time. He's into this domain. I am good in sales. He's good in finance. So we both gel together and we can make a best co-founding team. He's part of HR. He has a lot of networks. He can connect me to the investors. So that's why I can get some founding with him, and we can be a best co-founding team. So these are the general things that people capture as their understanding about choosing a co-founder or having a co-founding team or getting into the next level of art of co-founding or learning co-founding. So what I'll be doing today is I'll be going to share this entire art of co-founding in three simple ways so that you can clearly understand. There could be other 100 parameters, but these are the minimum things for us to understand what is co-founding, who is a co-founder, and how we can look at building the startup in making a very strong team, and we eventually stay here and stay here to grow. That's the fundamental belief a co-founding team should have. We are here and we are here to grow. It doesn't matter whether we get funded or not. We are here and we are here to grow. That's what the confidence a co-founding team has to give. And that's exactly knowing that in the right way, in three simple ways or three simple steps, is the art of co-founding. Let me present the three steps to you. The first one is a